Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss Aladdin, the 2019 version, starring Will Smith, Mina Masood, Naomi Scott, Marwan Kanzari, Naveed Negahban, Nassim Pedrad, and Alan Tudyk, and directed by Guy Ritchie. Guy Ritchie? Why is he directing this? Never mind that. But I want to let you know that I did see this movie with a friend of mine who I reviewed it over at his review at Mustang Oral Prince Reports, or Mustang Prince Oral Reports, that's what it's called. And he's the one that actually designed the logo for me, the Go Back Movie History logo, which I will thank him for. Thank you, Josh. So, let's just get right into this, because I only saw the movie once, but we'll see what happens. The movie starts off with Genie, played by Will Smith, and his wife Dahlia, played by Nassim Pedrad, who have kids of their own. How? It will make sense later. Genie tells the kids the story of Aladdin and his adventures while starting off with the song Arabian Nights, and I wish it was the guy with that camel at the beginning of the original. But we get Will Smith, and I'll bring up his Genie later on, but yeah. I did like that as a twist, though. Aladdin, played by Mina Masood, or forgive me if I said that wrong, whom I've never seen him in anything, but he is on that Amazon Prime TV show. But I like his take on the character, and I also like the fact Abu was a real-life monkey and doesn't say anything in this movie. But the chase with Aladdin and the guards with Princess Jasmine, played by Naomi Scott, felt a little too forced. But I like Naomi Scott's take on the princess, who wants to see the world for her own. And I've seen her in a couple of things, such as... And I'll be reviewing her again later this year in this remake. Overall, I really like her character. She gets an unwanted visitor named Prince Andres, played by Billy Magnasodia, something like that, who I reviewed before in this movie. But he didn't make an impression on me in that movie. But I have seen him in movies I don't necessarily like. For example, as he's trying to impress the princess. And her pet tiger, Raja, who I like as a CGI character, tries to make him pet the lovable tiger until something happens with his hand. I got the impression Raja just bit his hand, not off, but just bites it. And I guess I kind of like Prince Anders. He didn't really pull an impression on me, but that's okay for me. The Sultan's trusted counselor, Jafar, played by Marwan Kanzari, and here's where I start having problems. He doesn't necessarily come off to me as evil, but his parrot, Iago, voiced by Alan Tudyk, who barely talks, and I thought that was for the best, but he comes off more menacing than Jafar. And as far as I'm concerned, and I don't like or follow Jafar, but Iago should have been the villain of this movie. And as for Marwan Kanzari, who I've seen before in these couple of movies, neither film I liked. Doesn't pull off menace very well for me. This guy doesn't. I do like the chemistry between Aladdin and Princess Jasmine. They act together very well, especially when they sing A Whole New World later in the movie. But he visits her, and that's when I thought they have such good chemistry. And I also found Dahlia pretty humorous in this scene, as well as Abu stealing her her bracelet on her arm to the hair thing that the princess wears to keep her hair curled. Jafar makes not Razul this time, who's not in this movie, but Hakim, who I've seen in these movies. to take Aladdin to Jafar to go to the Cave of Wonders, and I like it. Doesn't move its mouth until until it closes the gate. But Abu is obsessed with the treasure, and Jafar and the cave say don't touch anything, and Aladdin jumps up to grab a mysterious lamp, which looked kind of fake. And along the way, we meet Carpet, who's a magic carpet, and Aladdin grabs the lamp, and out of the blue, a big ruby falls down, and Abu takes it, and it starts to cave in. And Jafar leaves him in there to rot, and he thinks he has the lamp until Abu attacks and takes it from Jafar. It's kind of a weird way to put it as without the original. Abu reveals he stole the lamp back from Jafar, and as Aladdin sees the lamp is a bit dusty and gives it a rub and causes Genie to rise and gives Aladdin 3 wishes of his own. And Will Smith's Genie, this is what I was most concerned about. I have to say, he hasn't been entertaining since the 1990s in my opinion. And that's what he is at best, is entertaining. But he doesn't quite have the energy of Robin Williams. And I was missing that here, as Will Smith plays him. But I do like his version of Never Had a Friend Like Me, but his Prince Ali song I thought Will could have had a little more energy, like in his Fresh Prince of Bel-Air days, while singing that song. This painfully awkward scene when Aladdin touches Genie and Genie says, "Don't touch me twice." And I'm in agreement with Genie, where Aladdin should listen and pay attention more. And Aladdin says something incredibly stupid, like he buys her. And I thought, dude, just be quiet. And he still stays in the palace, and I would have been like, get out! Jafar is suspicious of Aladdin, and Genie and Dahlia appear to have a thing for each other since the awkward scene I brought up earlier, and goes for a walk while Aladdin takes Jasmine, and their chemistry is getting stronger and as they sing A Whole New World on a magic carpet ride. And as she figures out Prince Ali is Aladdin, but convinces her as a prince, and goes back to the palace, and I wasn't buying Aladdin's lie, as I was not convinced, and neither is Jafar, who the next day captures Aladdin when he does tell Jafar where the lamp is. Then he throws Aladdin in the bay. And Abu and Carpet dump the lamp in the water, and Genie saves his life, which is kind of a Disney cliche to keep the hero alive, in my opinion. Jasmine brings Prince Ali, put Jafar in the dungeon, and Jafar lies and hypnotizes Sultan. And Aladdin sees as he's realizing what's wrong with Sultan, and breaks the snake eyes on his staff. And that slow motion scene of Aladdin breaking the staff was obviously bad slow-mo sequence, and Sultan puts Jafar in a dungeon until Iago brings him the keys, which how unbelievably stupid are these guards. I mean, my goodness. After Aladdin gets thanked for breaking Jafar's spell, he can't free Genie, and Genie is disappointed, sure, and Aladdin goes back to his old home, and as he suddenly realizes Genie is right, and he realizes the lamp is gone and is now in Jafar's possession, as he wishes to become Sultan and a sorcerer, and that's the first thing 2 wishes that he asks for, and reveals who Aladdin is rather too long. And this is a long movie at 2 hours and 8 minutes, just to be honest. Jafar banishes Aladdin to the end of the earth, and threatens to kill Dahlia and Sultan, and we get kind of an unnecessary song that Princess Jasmine sings called Speechless. She sings twice in this movie, and Jasmine reluctantly agrees to marry Jafar as Genie sends Carpet to find Aladdin, and Abu that did feel it did that scene in the original movie justice. Jafar and Jasmine almost get married until Carpet is seen by her, and she jumps off, which did feel gutty. Jafar sends Iago as a giant parrot after her, with Aladdin and Abu and Carpet, as they almost lose the lamp during the chase. and it goes back and forth between them and Iago and changes back to a parrot that felt ridiculous of a chase sequence, I might add. The twister that Jafar makes did look kind of fake, and has them at his mercy in declaring him as the most powerful man in the world. I thought, give me a break. And Aladdin says Jafar is second powerful compared to Genie, and he gives Jafar all of his powers, as Genie does, I should say, and can put him in a lamp for life, as he takes Iago with him. And I wish Jafar turned into a snake at some point during all this. And Genie sends the lamp to the Cave of Wonders as they remain prisoners. And Aladdin's final wish for Genie, one was being a prince, and the other was saving his life from the bay and freeing him from the lamp. From the lamp, and spends his freedom with Dahlia. And Sultan makes Jasmine Sultan as Aladdin sneaks away unnoticed, and she catches up with him, and the two of them embrace and later will marry, which was not but magical of an ending, as this is like second best at best. Let's just get to this. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 7.9 out of 10. This movie has problems, sure, and I talked about them, but this isn't a bad movie, but it's not quite as good as the original. But there were some twists I liked more than others, and Will Smith is entertaining and back to being entertaining, I hope. This is probably, in my opinion, the second best compared to the original movie. But yeah, I would like to thank you guys for joining me in this adventure for Aladdin, and until then, Genie of the Lamp goes blah!